Welcome to come down to Tennessee like all these wonderful people have already worked out how to do. The divers will be feeding from the right-hand side of me. If you prefer to stand, if you could do so behind the people that are seated at the back. And that way we can all get a view. Now, our divers that are diving in here today, their names are Brett and Lloyd. And Brett and Lloyd are coming into the oceanarium to target feed some of our larger species of animals. So some of the larger species you can see swimming around. Now, they're not in here to feed all these little fish. All these little fish get fed from the surface and they get fed twice a day, just like the larger animals. So you'll be seeing some of our divers feeding some of the larger stingrays, some of the smaller ones as well, and they'll be target feeding some of the smaller shark species. The larger shark species you won't be being fed today. They do get fed every day, but they get fed in the morning in a special way. I'll tell you about it in just a moment. Our divers are headed over, so give them a wave. They can see you very well. The one that's closest to the glass, his name is Lloyd, and obviously the one behind him is Brett. Now you can see that's a very hungry stingray who's already chasing after Lloyd. Now, as you can imagine, not having any arms, a stingray needs to be able to get the attention of the divers in other ways. And you're about to see the way that they get their attention. Stingrays will sit on the tops of the heads of our divers, just like over with Brett. And what they do is suck onto their heads and suck onto their tanks. Now you'll notice that our divers are wearing two special things, and that is their helmets. Now before, when we didn't used to wear helmets, the stingrays used to suck up the hoods of our divers and be able to move them around wherever they liked. Now, as you can imagine, a diver doesn't really like that, so they started wearing helmets. Now we've just got a special appearance from Leo, our leopard shark, who's that spotty shark going behind the boys at the moment. Now, that is a very special appearance, and you guys are all very lucky. He didn't make his way out this morning, and that's because Leo sleeps about 22 hours a day. So he probably missed the feed. Now, these really large stingrays that you can see feeding, we've got our largest one, who's on top of Lloyd at the moment. Oh, and now on to Brett. Those types of stingrays are called smooth rays, and we find them here in Victoria. Now, the large one just going up against the glass, her name is Mars, and although she is our biggest one, she's by far not as big as she can get. Mars can get up to about 4 metres in length, and she can weigh up to about 350 kilos. She's nowhere near that at the moment. She's just over 3 metres and she only weighs about 250 kilos, so she's still got a lot of growing to do. Now, all of our rays, you'll notice, all have their barbs on their tails, and the divers aren't at all worried about that. There is one exception though, and she hasn't made her way around. There is a stingray that is missing her tail completely. Unfortunately, her name is Sandy, and unfortunately Sandy was found in the wild like that. Her tail had been cut off, and it meant that she's never going to grow her tail back, or she's never going to grow her bar back either. So unfortunately, Sandy is defenceless, and if she was still in the wild, there's a pretty good chance she'd be eaten by now. She's just a swimming pancake for someone to eat. Now, these really big stingrays are the largest types of stingrays in the world. Manta rays get bigger, but they're not a stingray. If you're interested in how big the manta rays get, the big white circle that's on the roof, that's as big as a manta ray. This here is Sandy, just coming behind me with her tail missing. You can see some really large species of fish in here as well. Those big fish over to your right-hand side, they look like tuna. They're called yellow-tailed kingfish. And they're really big snapper. They're also two different animals to be looking out for because they are a little bit aggressive, especially when there's food in the water. And they do have sharp teeth and hard heads, so it means that the divers often get their fingers bitten. But none of these animals are the most dangerous animal. Our sharks are definitely not dangerous. We've seen Mitchell, our grey nurse shark, just over to your right. He's done 3 passes so far and hasn't really been interested at all. That's because Mitchell doesn't eat very much. In fact, he can go an entire month with only eating 1 fish. But usually he has a fish a fortnight. But sharks generally aren't aggressive species, and especially the ones that we have here at the aquarium are not at all one to worry about. The most dangerous animal in here hasn't made her appearance yet. The most dangerous animal is the least suspecting one of all. Does anyone think they might know what the most dangerous one is? Yeah, what do you think over there? Oh, the small fish are pretty nasty. They have a pretty nasty bite, but this one's bigger. This one's cute and adorable. Not the hammerheads. The hammerheads are shark. There was a turtle called Squirt. Does everyone know that turtle called Squirt from Finding Nemo? That turtle has given, or Squirt has given turtles a really bad name because turtles aren't all that cute and adorable. Turtles in the oceanarium here are actually quite dangerous. It's not because they're aggressive, they're not aggressive at all, but they have terrible eyesight and they think with their bellies. So it means that a turtle's always going to be hungry, if they're awake and can smell the food, of course. And when they're hungry, they just try and find the food as quickly as possible. And it doesn't matter if the diver's fingers or arms or bottoms get in the way, they're going to get bitten. And unfortunately, a few of our divers have been seriously bitten by our turtles. So at the moment, we have one of our green sea turtles swimming around, but we do have 3 in total. 2 of them we keep locked in a different area so we can manage them better. Now, the green sea turtles that we have here at the aquarium, they're not typically found in Victoria, so we're really lucky to have them here and for you guys to be able to see them. But it means the reason why we have them here is because they're washed up on a beach in Victoria, very sick or injured. So unfortunately, although it's great to see them, it's not always in the best circumstances. Now, for those of you that are just hovering over there, you guys are more than welcome to come and take a seat in front if you can't see. I'm sure we can make room for you. Now, some of the other species that you might be able to see at the feet of the divers, we've got some brown-banded bamboo sharks. Now, these are sharks that are typically found in Queensland, and they're a shark that makes an egg. So, if you're not already aware, some sharks make an egg, and these brown-banded bamboo sharks are an example. There's also some fiddler rays down there as well. Now, a fiddler ray is a type of ray that has a tail like a shark. So sometimes they call it a banjo shark because of the way they're shaped. They look a bit like a banjo shark. Alrighty, the divers are finished for the day, so I hope you've enjoyed the dive feed. Now you're more than welcome to follow the divers through and watch them swim away. To find the way to the exits also where the divers are headed, out through the tunnels, up through the stairs and through the gift shop. If you're looking to go back to the penguins, that's also the way to go. The easiest way for you to get back to any part of the aquarium is head out the exit and start all over again. You are allowed to exit and start again. You don't just exit and that's it for you for the day. You can start all over. But if you have any questions, come and see me. Otherwise, I thank you for your patience and your time, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you very much.